Wars are not just fought by two armies or two peoples. Wars are fought by two economies. And that's why historians talk about war machines. You need guns, missiles, fighter jets, warships. And all of this costs money. Vladimir Putin says that he is ready for anything. He's even talking about Russia's big nuclear arsenal. If war breaks out, Putin will not shy away from firing his nukes. That's what he says.
Of course, NATO's armament potential and Russia's are not comparable, and we understand that. But we also understand that Russia is one of the leading nuclear powers and ahead of many countries in its modernity. There will be no winners.
Those are ominous words from the Russian president. Maybe he does have the appetite for war, but can his economy bankroll it? On paper, the NATO is far ahead. Russia's total GDP is around $1.7 trillion. NATO, more than $18 trillion. Russia never really recovered from the shock of 1991. Their growth rate is less than 2%. Inflation is around 8%. And foreign trade is pinned on one sector, oil and gas. Around 50% of Russia's exports come from this sector, oil and gas. If the West shuts that tap, Russia's foreign trade is going to collapse. The fact is, their economy is struggling. Growth should be the priority for Moscow right now. Fighting a war is out of the question. Having said that, we are not talking about a conventional leader. We are talking about Vladimir Putin. He does not follow the playbook. I can give you an example from 2014. Putin ordered his troops to invade Crimea. Even then, Russia's economy was struggling. It was on the brink of a recession, but Putin invaded anyway. So economy alone may not influence Moscow's choice. I can give you two reasons why. Number one, Putin has calibrated his economy to survive a war. And number two, he's not expecting NATO to join this fight. Russia's central bank reserves stand at $640 billion. That's equal to 17 months of export revenue. If oil gets more expensive, that pile will keep growing. Plus, Putin has taken the Russian economy away from the US dollar. I'll tell you how. In 2013, around 95% of Russia's trade was done in dollars. Today, around 10%. But if Putin has abandoned the dollar, what is he trading in? Well, gold. In 1995, Russia's gold reserves were at $2 billion. Today, $130 billion. The bottom line is this: if you think logically, Russia should not invade Ukraine. It should focus on economic growth. But if Putin does choose to invade, Russia is not going to collapse. Its economy can sustain a short war. If NATO stays out, that's what it will be, a short war. So why is Putin reluctant? Well, he ignored the economy in 2014 and invaded Crimea. So why is he rethinking now? Because annexing Crimea was a popular move. I may get into trouble for saying this standing here in Kiev, but that's the fact. Both in Russia and Crimea, it was a popular move. Even today, a lot of Crimeans do not regret splitting with Ukraine. I'm not saying Putin's move was legitimate. I'm just saying that it was popular. But invading Ukraine is a different ballgame altogether. The Russian public are slowly emerging from a major pandemic. They will not support an all-out war. Even if it is a short one, they are not going to support it. And unlike Crimea, there is going to be a pushback. Crimeans may or may not be happy under Russia. Ukrainians certainly will not be. They will fight an insurgency. They will bleed the Russian troops. Even Russian commanders know this. US intel reports indicate that Russian generals are wary of a full-blown war with Ukraine. They fear the cost is going to be too high. Billions of dollars will be spent. Thousands of lives will be lost. And that's not something that the Russian public will voluntarily accept. Like I said, if this were to be a question of logic, the answer was quite clear. Russia will not and cannot invade. But Vladimir Putin, let me repeat, is not a conventional leader. He is not answerable to his electorate. He doesn't have an election anytime soon. So it's really a question of personal appetite.